Good morning, Luke Smith, realvacantland.com. I'm signing in a little bit early. It's not totally 9 o'clock yet, but I just feel like dancing because got a bunch of good deals that come in recently. So we send out mail. We make these cash offers. We send out blind cash offers, not blind, but almost blind cash offers on vacant land. We say, this is how much I'm willing to pay for your land. And we mail the cash offers to people, and they call back and they yell and they scream and they cry and they say, that's way too little for the land that I think's worth so much. And then other people say, yes, please, thank you. I'm so happy. So happy that you made this offer. I don't know what else can do with the land. I don't want to pay the taxes. My kids don't want it. My grandkids don't want it. I haven't been there in 20 years or 30 years or something. And I would love to have that money you're offering. Right now, I could use it for, you know, put whatever story in there they want to use the money for. I've heard so many, I don't even know where to start. And so I want to make more offers. I want to make more offers and more offers. Because last week I probably had, not probably, I'm sure I researched more properties last week off of mailers than I have ever researched in a week, or some of those days, any single day in the last couple of years of doing mailers. And that happens because the mailers snowball. I send out more and I send out more and I send out more offers, cash offers for people's land, and they get back to me. And some of these people are getting back to me from years ago, offers that I sent out, and some of them are getting back to me from letters I sent out just a month or two ago. And so the vast majority of them are ones that are getting back to me from recent letters, and there's like deadlines in there that says, hey, get back to me before this, or the offer's not good anymore. I mean, people still get back to me later, but it gets a bigger push of people getting back to me, right? So I'm buying a bunch of good looking properties. I can't wait to show them off on the website and on this YouTube channel. If you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, you should see more videos about different properties that I've been buying, if they make it all the way to the YouTube channel, if they're not sold like somewhere in between, which happens sometimes. I don't even have to talk about them. They just get sold because I do them at a really good price, right? So I want more of those properties, and that's what today's about. Going to find more of the properties to put on ruralvacantland.com. I've got a dozen different people posting properties on ruralvacantland.com, and they're doing the same thing. They're sending out cash offers. They're buying land. They're putting up for sale for the cheapest stuff on the internet, cheapest stuff in the neighborhood, cheapest stuff in the state, cheapest stuff in the county, cheapest stuff of whatever it is, right? And so let's go get more of them. Let's make sure all the lights are going on this thing, and it seems to be working. Got a couple good mornings. Dave Tassiet saying good morning, and S. Federley saying hi, and Frankie Roberts saying I love you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm even wearing my Land Academy. I got my, where is it? There's a Land Academy logo. I mean, it's cold this morning. They gave me this sweatshirt, so I thought it was fitting. Land Academy, snowing, or it's not snowing, but it's raining in Southern California. I got a picture in the background. I just got this picture from a photo guy. He went to some properties bought in Pima County. Just bought a slew of properties in Pima County. This is one of them. I'm trying to get them up on the website right now, so a lot of these pictures are probably going to get stuffed on the website. And this photo guy not only got pictures, he got like 3D drone footage of it, so you can go 3D look at the property, where all the plants are, and the elevation, like elevation contours mapped down to detail. I think it's pretty cool. It's going to be fun to add that kind of stuff to the website too. You'll be able to fly in and see the property 3D and see what the elevation is, see where all the plants are, where it's, I think the plant stuff's more made for farmers, but he's got it in his software for the drone, so why not throw it on there so you can see how it's all laid out in multiple different ways. He's making videos with the lot lines and lot corners. I think it'll make it a lot easier to present these properties. Okay, so I've got a map pulled up on my other screen. This is ruralvacantland.com. I would love to go tell you about 100 different properties on there, but I mean, they're customized. Go look on there in the areas that you're looking for, and get some of these properties from older mailers. You get to cherry pick the best of the best ones. You don't have to go buy all the ones that come back like I'm trying to do. I put them up there for you guys to cherry pick through and take a look. So I pulled up a map of California, good old California. Some of you guys love California. Some of you guys hate California. You know, That's fine if you hate it, but people in California, they pay for land, and I'm in the business of selling land. So I like to buy land in California and lots of other states. And over this next week, I'm going to be sending mail to numerous different states. But this morning, I thought this would be an easier one to try to jam this whole mailer into this call. If you guys are up for it, here's sending cash offers 101. So this is a county map of California. And why do I look at the counties? Like, who cares what counties there are, right? Well, the data we get for making these mailers comes from the county. And so it's county specific. So down at the bottom here, or see this green chunk, let me change my screen around so I can do some weatherman stuff. Here we go. Well, yeah, let's do this one. This yellow chunk, Inyo County. I've mailed mail to Inyo County, and there's not very many people who live there. You got Mount McKinley, like really cool park and mountains and stuff, and a lot of nature, but not very many people live there. A big chunk of land, and you've got an assessor. So you've got somebody who is elected to that county assessor's seat, and they make decisions that are different than, let's say, this green one over here. This San Bernardino County. That's a totally different county. It's somebody else making decisions on what they should assess these properties for. And they can be wildly different. And so it doesn't make sense to compare data county by county by county. I think it makes a lot more sense to compare data in that county. And if you want to do the area, do the same kind of data comparison county by county by county, and then add them together. And that's why I'm looking at a county map. So let's jump in here and let's get my head out of the way. So, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but Lake Tahoe's up here in this corner. The corner is like in the lake, right? And I mailed offers up here before in Lake Tahoe area. Let's pull up a different map while I'm talking in the background. So this beautiful lake, this is a cartoon version of the lake, but this beautiful lake here has a bunch of land around it. And I mailed offers to this particular neighborhood that I was attracted to, is Tahoma, whatever. And then I figured that was working out. So I mailed offers up this whole coast. And I didn't go down the coast because I didn't know any better. I should have. And now I'm going to try to go down the coast today. But what I learned by going up the coast is, I don't know if you ever see these bumper stickers or hats or shirts or whatever, Keep Tahoe Blue, Lake Tahoe. It's a movement, right? And they're trying to protect the sediment from getting into the lake. And one of the ways they can do that is to stop people from building stuff. And when you build stuff, their idea, their theory, their science, I'm sure there's science behind it, and I believe them, is that water hits the roof, and instead of going into the ground, and it gets going faster, it goes down the side, and then it hits the ground. You get a lot more water and a lot less area, and more sediment moves, and then it goes across your driveway. It picks up even more speed, more mass, more volume before it gets to the ditch, and then eventually in some ditch down the road somewhere, it goes shooting out towards the lake. And so when you got a whole bunch of houses concentrating water like that and running it down ditches and pipes and then shooting to the lake, it picks up more junk, and more junk ends up in the lake, and the lake isn't as clear and it's not as beautiful. So they don't want as many people to build, so they came up with this carbon credit kind of idea in today's world, but back in the 70s or 80s or something. And they came up with this point system for all these properties, IPES score. And it says, if your score is high, it's easier to build on. If your score is low, you're going to make a more of a mess of the lake for whatever reason they deemed. And you're going to have to buy points, or not build as much, or not build at all. And so a lot of the properties got you paid for this thing, you've been paying taxes on it forever and stuff, and then all of a sudden the bureaucrats decide that you can't build anything at all on your property. Like, what the heck? And they don't pay you for it. They don't pay you for taking the value away. I mean, I'm sure that pissed a lot of people off, right? And so I mailed cash offers, and these people are like accepting my offers, and I'm doing the happy dance, like, I got a really good one. Like, this one looks awesome. I'm trying not to do it while I'm on the phone with this person selling it to me, but trying to make sure I hang up the phone before I do that dance. And I go look at it, and I can't build on it. I just do the due diligence. I call everybody and their brother, that has a say. And Yeah, start teaching me about this score. So these scores in Placer County. This is Placer County to the north here. It's just a beautiful high dollar. So land cost more up here. That's why I mailed north instead of south. It looked like it was more desirable. Yeah, their score is whatever their score is. I'm not going to get into the exacts of it, but their score is up there. And if you get a property below their score, it doesn't work. Or if it's 10% below their score, you can't even buy the points to get up in there. But you can transfer the points from like the deadbeat property to something that's got a better score, which basically kills that old property, and it entices people to buy up the dirtbag properties for something and move the scores around to better properties. And the idea is that the properties that aren't as detrimental to the lake get built on, and the other ones get condemned and nobody ever builds on them. So I can see the idea there, but still, come on. Just bureaucratic frustratingness. And then, but the other counties around the lake, somewhere along the way, one after another, probably starting on the Nevada side because it's Nevada, they said, okay, we're going to change our minimum score from 500, 700, whatever, down to 1. And so if our minimum score is 1, pretty much anybody can build, unless you're like in a stream or a swamp or something, you can go build on the property. And so Placer County has not lowered their score, where all the other counties around the lake have. So they're the only ones that really have this thing applying to them. And so there's two factors to this. One's that score, and the other is the lot coverage. And so I get a bunch of these properties like you can build on 3% of the lot or 1% of the lot or something. It's like, what are you going to build, a shed? It doesn't make any sense. And so there's still that factor of it, which you can pay for square footage. You can buy your way up, is my understanding, but it costs money, and the money goes to preserving the lake. So it's just a factor of money instead of able to or not. And so with that in mind, all that craziness brings us back around to doing a new mailer. So I got some deals out of old ones, and I'm going to scrub them out before I go mail. But I'll probably ratchet up the price and hit areas that I haven't hit and try to get some deals. So I got up here, I'm going to go down this coast and just try to hit all these. Okay, so how do I mail just this part of the county and not the rest of the county? That's because I've mailed the rest of this county a couple times. So I want to just hit, I just want to hit this into the county over here. Just like I just take that piece of the county and just shoosh off the stuff down the hill over here. Just, forget that. I'm already making a market in those properties. I probably got the cheapest ones out there for sale anywhere around in multiple sizes and stuff. So just want to hit this side. So that, I also got realtor.com pulled up. I was looking at different neighborhoods in here, looking at different sizes and stuff, doing a little bit of due diligence before I jumped in here. And really, I don't even look at the prices of these properties so much anymore. Because I make up my own prices, right? People are like, how do you come up with a price? It's how much money I have or how much I'm willing to pay or, yeah. So what these other people have up for sale, definitely not going to offer that much because that stuff's not selling. So it's not worth that much money. So it's going to be something below that. But what I wanted to get to was this piece of software. I like this piece of software, and I think we'll be able to do this in Parcel Fact soon. Parcel Fact's another one from Land Academy, and they're working on their mapping system so we can click on neighboring properties and get info about them. For right now, maybe I'll move my head, or maybe not. I'll just blow this thing up. It's going to be so small you can't really see it anyway. But so we got the county map going right here where my baldness shines on the lights. And, that's Placer County and El Dorado County. So what I'm trying to do is figure out where I'm going to send mail. I want to send this whole coast of the lake. But I don't want to hit the whole county because I don't want to pay for the data and I don't want to scrub it out. And I don't want to, it's just going to get more exact. So in this, this is Agent Pro 24/7. You get this software, Title Pro 24/7, whatever they call it. There's a bunch of versions of the same thing, different marketing same guts. So you can click on a property. I'm going to click down the road. I'm going to click on this one over my head. It says I've been logged out for inactivity because I've been talking too much. But so what I'm going to do when I get logged back in here is I click on it and it'll say the APN number. And I was just looking in, we'll go over here to RealQuest while the thing's loading. RealQuest is where I'm going to pull the data from. I'm not going to pull the data from Agent Pro. I mean, you could pull it from Agent Pro or Title Pro or whatever, but I like pulling it from RealQuest. I think it's a little bit more powerful. And I was looking at the APN numbers that they have in the formatting, and let's see if it comes up. Hey, that looks like a good spot. So you probably can't read this, but they break down the formatting of the APN. And so the first 3 numbers is the book. This next 3 numbers is the page. The next 2 numbers is the parcel, which is kind of weird. They usually have 3 numbers in most counties, but whatever. This is a smaller county. And then they have a special interest. So like if you're splitting it up, or I think in this county, sometimes they have people that, way back in the past, let's say mom died and they left it to 4 kids. And instead of one tax bill going to one kid, they'd send 4 tax bills for a quarter to 4 different kids. They make 4 different APNs and be like undivided interest for that property. Boy, that makes a mess. And one of them dies or one of them sells, and it's a total disaster doing that. So they stopped doing that, but there's still old ones in the records I come across from time to time in this county that have those partial interests. And it's like, good luck buying those properties. Got to quiet title and take everyone else to court. Say, I own 1%. Anyone else care to fight me for the rest of it? No one shows up, you can get it. That's just a lot of paperwork and money and time. It's easier to just move on to the next property. So that's what we're looking at. So remember that format: book, page, parcel. So we're back in here. Let's pull up the county again. El Dorado, California. I'm going to look at comments here soon, but I'm on a roll and I really want to send out some mail. So I got a bunch of properties to research and do, but I can do that while the mail's flying before it starts ringing on the next call, right? So, El Dorado County. Here's the lake over here. There's my county line. So, lots of times these APNs read like a book from left to right, from top left corner down to the bottom right corner. From the northwest corner to the southeast corner, going across. They'll go across, and then they'll start over. Go across and start over. Go down to the next line and start over. So it's going to be probably gaps in our data that go back to the other side of the county. But the way this county is laid out, I don't know if you can see it behind my head. Yeah. Might work better on this screen. You can kind of see a line going across here. There's a county line, and it starts jig-jagging south. So it starts, the northeast corner of this county starts up here by the lake. And so I think that's going to make it easier. If we zoom in here, got this little neighborhood. I'm going to try to click on a property that's like up in the northwestern corner. And here we go. So it says the APN, Scott A. Cotton, or whoever owns this property. I don't care if it's a house or vacant. I'm just trying to get the APN. And so this APN is probably too small for you guys to see, but it's 3 different numbers. It's 014-286. So the 014 is the book, the -286 is a page, and the -005 is the property, and then the 000 is saying that there's no special interest craziness going on in this one. If it said 210, it'd be like 210 different owners in it. So 014 is the book. And if you think of a book if you ever go to a recorder's office for whatever county you're into or some land you're looking at or whatever, and go back in the old records, they'll whip out a book. Like old school counties, they'll whip out a book. They'll slam it down on the table and they'll open a page, and then it'll be some page. Like this one's book 14. So they'll go grab book number 14. Then you open it to page 286. And then you look for property number 5. So you look at the map and you look around for property number 5. It's going to be in a corner of the page because this is the corner of the county. And there's your property. There it is on a map. And that's the logic of this. So understanding the logic of that APN layout allows us to understand the mapping of where stuff is and how to grab a certain part of the county. And some people are probably asking, why don't you just use the new software where you can circle areas and stuff? Well, yeah, but circling areas and then getting the super customized search that I want to add on behind this together in one is a lot harder to do than it looks. So, because I just want vacant and I just want specific vacant ones and stuff. So this is 014. So 014 is one of the books. And if we zoom out here, we go over here, it's probably going to be 01. Here's 015s. These ones that don't have information or like government. 014s. Okay, so let's 014 and 015. So I'm going to put 014 in here. I'm not going to put the whole rest of the number. I'm just going to put the book. Look at that. It's a whole bunch of properties over right where I want to be. 542 properties on 014. Let's go to the last one, see where that's at. That's part of that neighborhood too. Okay, so 014, I like that. So 015. Now, if the last property in it or something were back on the other side of the county, I'd have to do work some other magic. But 015, that's still over in the same area that I want. Let's look at the last property in that list. There's 1,128 properties in that book. And so that's a whole bunch of them we're covering. Yeah, so this is the same neighborhood, 015. And I'm going to click around here until you guys fall asleep because I'm going to do a mailer. And this is part of doing the mailer. Feel free to throw questions in there and I'm going to try to get them. But I'm clicking on the screen. Let's see. If we get a 016, let's try a 016. 1,200 records there. Just going down the coast of the lake. I like that. Well, let's just try 017. See if that shows up over there too. There you go. Look at that. Waterfront. I'd like some of that. See if they'll sell that to me. Well, let's see. The last 017. It's only 53. Okay, 018. We're still by the lake. Oh, there's a little bay here. Emerald Bay State Park. Bet you that's beautiful. I've never been there. That's the other side of the lake. So 018 looks good. Let's try 019. This might take us back down to the other side of the county. Nope, we're still by the lake. That's looking good. It's only 19 records. Most of it's government. Let's try 20. Oh, now where are we? That's still that's still in the lake region. It's not by the lake, but at the right price, those properties will make sense. And some of them are by a lake. That's a different lake. What's that? Echo Lake. Yeah, let's keep that. I have to look up what kind of fish are in Echo Lake. I've never gone fishing there. Let's try 21, see if that gets us further away. I want to get these neighborhoods that are over here at the south end of the lake. Fallen Leaf, okay. 021, that sounds like a good looking lake. 020, let's try 22. Oh, now we're getting into town. Okay, Tahoe Keys, look at that. There's a whole bunch of docks and somebody dredged out a neighborhood. That looks like a fun one. It's like a Venice style looking area. That looks cool. Maybe a place to go rent a house for the weekend or for a week during the summer. I bet you it's like boating craziness in there. 1,600 records. I doubt there's any vacant ones in there though, but maybe they'll sell to us if there are. 20. Well, I did 21, 22. I wanted 23. Let's try 23. Sorry if this is boring, guys, but this is how I do mailers. This is like scrubbing data. I'm just going book by book, seeing what books this county has that we can just mail offers to all the properties that are vacant in that book. There's some condos and stuff. Don't want that, but we'll scrub it and see if there's some vacant land in there. 24. This might be easier than I thought. Nope, there's nothing in the 24s. Let's see 25s. '25 still working. Okay, so let's keep 25. 26. Some of these counties, if you go into the recorder's office, they'll have a big map on the wall that shows where all these books are, the books and pages and stuff. It's usually like too big to take off the wall and take home with you. Or they won't sell you a copy. You take a picture with your phone, I guess. But never been able to actually like get that map from the county. It's usually artwork, not something for sale or for giving out. I mean, I don't think anyone in their right mind actually looks at it besides the assessor and this crazy guy over here making this video. So 26, 27, let's try 27. It's a good looking lake, right guys? If you guys have ever been there, I'm sure a bunch of you have been there. By the lake, another 1,800 records. This is 27. Let's try 28. We're getting over to the border. 800 records. Someone's grinding up trees in the background. The sun's starting to come out though. It was raining when I started this call. Getting one heck of a wet here in San Diego. So we're right up to the border. $29. It's going to be easy if they're all in a row like this, because I could just go from 14 to, I'm on 30. I could just go from 14 to 30. I don't even have to put the list in there. I think I can do that. 30 looks good. Let's try 31. Still in the neighborhood. 2,000 records. There we go. There's South Lake Tahoe. Sea of these little guys. So they're going to be like 5,000 square foot lots or something. 32. I'm going to have to go a lot, like make offers in really small lots up here because there's a lot of small lots. It's all United States government land. Let's try 30. We're still in a row here. 32, 33. Yeah, this is not set up like I thought it would be. Like I thought it would be reading left to right like a book, and I would have to start over numerous times. This is going a lot faster and easier than I thought it would be. I never really know until I dive into the county. 'Cause just like I started out the presentation, that each county is run by different people and they do things differently, right? Like if you go over to Placer County, you got to go start over. So 33 looks good. We're still in the same area. 34. I'm going to give mailers away at the end of this. I forgot to say, guys, but I'm going to give mailers away at the end of this call. I'm going to ask the basic question that says, to be able to answer it. Sounds like you've been listening or following along or have a pulse. 34. And so these mailers I'm going to give away, they're not going to be this mailer, but one of the future mailers. And we'll try to buy properties like the ones that are showing up on the screen here. And so I'll make a bunch of cash offers. And we'll answer the phone. We'll research them. We'll do the due diligence, figure them out. Fund them. Put them up for sale. Sell them. Best we darn well can. See how much money we make on them. If any, we might not make any. We might not get any deals. We might not make any money. It's total risk. Wild speculation, but it may work. It may make a bunch. And looking at some of the deals that were coming in last week on some of the previous mailers, I think the spread to the people that either got the mailers from me for free or paid for some mailers, I mean, some of them looked like I might be paying 50 grand when it's said and done on just like one deal, and they get a couple of deals in their slot. Some of them look like 20 grand, some of them like 1 or 2,000, $1 or 2,000 bucks, or 5,000, 10,000. We'll see. I got to take the thing full circle, and then I'd like to share those numbers with you. So that's what I'm working on. I'm trying. We're kind of close to Lake Tahoe, but we're kind of getting away from it. And this is all getting to be government land in here anyway. So I think we might be down to the end of it. They're just going to get up in the mountain crazy, no access, weird stuff. I think I might cut it off right there. We're on 37. Let's try 38. See if it gets even crazier. Yeah, this is crazy land here. There's some lots, some little weird roads. We're getting a ways off from the lake. I think I'm going to cut it off. I'm not going to do 38 or 37. I'm going to go to 36. Okay, so let's go to Real Quest, where I like to actually pull the data. Before I dive into this, I'm going to hit the comments and see if I can answer some things or some questions. Frankie Robertson, we were playing a contest, yeah, and I'm gonna give away some mailers, and hopefully they turn into cash over time. Photo guy sounds keen. Yeah, I like this new photo guy. I've been using a totally different area than the one I've been using in Northern California. So a lot of hi, hello, swapping wheels as I listen. Winter tires off, summer tires on at last. There you go. S. Fatterly, Luke, do you have properties in Pennsylvania? Oh, there's the question. I was debating whether I should mail Pennsylvania this morning or some of these Lake Tahoes. I might end up mailing Pennsylvania later this afternoon, because I got a guy that's a partner, friend, camaraderie, whatever you want to call him, living there, who would like to tour properties, take pictures, and help work on them. So I'm gonna mail some of this Pennsylvania stuff too. Hello, Luke and everyone. Hello, Lake Tahoe sounds interesting. Yeah, it's just learning more about the rules and regulations there, and I think it gives me a little bit of a competitive advantage. A lot of good mornings. Good morning, Luke. And chat, almost missed you again last week. I was in the hospital. Uh-oh. Hopefully you're get out of the hospital feeling better now, Cheryl. Oh, Kevin Swenson. Morning, Luke. Did the CPA meeting yield a good use of your time? Yeah. So, was it last week or the week before last? I forget now. I did a meeting with the real top-notch CPA. I mean, this guy does hardcore hedge funds, like hundreds of millions of dollars hedge funds, and he's not the one that manages them. My old boss, Rick Rule, is the guy that manages them, and he works with behind the brokerage house and doing a lot of the financial CPA stuff and strategy behind the brokerage house and a lot of the deals that the brokerage house is into, and a lot of high net worth individuals at the brokerage house that I used to work for. And I think he gave some really good advice on multiple fronts. One of the fronts that he talked a good deal about was doing 1031 exchanges on these properties. I don't personally qualify for it because I get into dealer status stuff, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm not even going to try it because of the dealer status stuff. But I mean, if you're buying selling a couple properties a year and you're not like full into it, I think it could make really good sense to do 1031 exchanges. And he pointed out some things that I didn't realize with 1031 exchange. Like I could buy a whole portfolio of properties, sell them, use that money to go buy one property, or vice versa. I could sell one fancy property and go buy 5 other smaller properties, do it again. It doesn't have to be one for one. And the way that I dial up new deals in a pretty quick fashion could work for the timelines of 1031 exchanges really well. So I think I'm going to try to help some of the investors that I work with do 1031 exchanges on deals out into the future. So that was cool. And then a lot of corporate structuring kinds of things. We're strategizing and talking, and yeah, just good stuff. And a lot of good mornings. Andrew Goring says, Luke, on average, how much mail do you send a month? That's a good question. I would like to get my averages up. I'm always trying to get my averages up. Hence, I'm not talking so much on the show. I'm trying to do some mail, right? It's hard for me to get time to do some mail. If I hang up off this call, the phone will, turn the phones back on. I get swamped with all kinds of stuff on the phones and putting out fires, paying bills, and all the classics. And I keep me away from doing mail, customer service stuff that I got to do, But I don't know, like average, this mailer today is probably 1,000 pieces or 2,000, 3,000. I think that's a really small mailer. I think 5,000-10,000 offers is a lot more realistic. And I've got orders to send out mail for a bunch of people probably on this call right now that have paid for it. They're ready to go. There's a link down below. I opened it up to, if you wanted to buy some mail, 1,500 offers for $1,500. I opened it up for a couple more people. I'm going to try to get all those filled this week and then some. I got a little bit more capacity now to process mailers on the phones and the systems, the software systems I'm getting give me a lot more confidence to do a lot more volume. And so I think I'm going to crank it up a good deal. I'm customizing the software a bit more, and I got some other software guru dudes I'm working with. I think we'll make it even better. And then everybody who's getting into mailers with me, they'll be able to see as the acceptances come back and what status, the research, the paperwork, through title, buying them, funding title or title funding, whatever you want to call it. They'll be able to see the whole paperwork trail along the way with status updates like, oh, somebody gave it a poke, somebody did this, they moved it forward. Okay, we got the property, now it's being marketed, here's how much we're asking for it, here's the pictures we got from the picture guys, here's hopefully the maps, the 3D images, all that stuff, right, that's starting to happen. And they'll be able to see it, watch it. Okay, it's sold, okay, it's in title, hey, we actually got paid, here's the money, and the money goes out to whoever the money's due. But that whole process with tracking of timelines, I'll be able to see which ones are getting stuck, where the bottlenecks are, where things are not happening, and help ticket kind of system. So when people have questions, issues, and things, stuff will stop falling through the cracks, because my organization has been really poor, and I want to make it much better. And to be able to process more volume, I need to get that organization side of my business in order, and I think this software is really going to do that and allow me to do a lot more mailers. So I think past numbers are kind of a joke, and I think future numbers are a lot more where it's going to be. And I think it's going to be over 10,000 offers, hopefully a week, but maybe 10,000 a month. So we'll see. I'm just going to mail everybody. Are you offering mailer opportunities today? Yes, Laney, offering some mailer opportunities. There's a link in the description of this video. If it says checkout disabled, it's because somebody bought them all. But if you go in there and go for it, great. I'm going to try to open up more of it in the future. I want to get the ones that I've promised sent and happening before I go do a bunch more. So I'm just opening up to a little bit at a time as I get my capacity up there. Yeah, Jimmy Ross. Good morning, Luke. I bought a property Friday in New Mexico off a website, but it's listed and money hasn't been taken out of my account yet. Chris Riviera Land. Okay, so congratulations on buying a property. Maybe it's Monday morning before we get it updated on there, and money hasn't been taken out of your account yet. So did you pay with ACH is probably the question. If you're paying with ACH like banking style, it takes a day or two for the money to get swiped out of there. Maybe that's what's happening. If it's over the weekend, that's probably it. If you're paying with a credit card or debit card, it should happen instantaneously. So I'm guessing you're trying ACH. And yeah. And if you try to go buy it again, it'd probably be checkout disabled. It won't let you unless you haven't verified the ACH. So if you have a smaller bank or like a credit union or something, which you probably should be using because they're usually better in lots of ways, the verification of that ACH, you have to do like a two-step. They'll make a deposit or they'll take some money out of your account and they'll ask you how much. You got to verify it, and then they'll make the transaction. So there's a gap of time in there where you don't really own the property yet until you verify the funding. But if you call Chris Riviera and tell him what's going on, I mean, he'll I'm pretty darn sure he'll reserve it for you if you're just waiting on that confirmation. Guys joking about coffee, cup Folgers, and Luke in the Monday morning. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna try to burn through questions here. If I can get some good questions, I'll hit them up. But I want to get back to the mailer. TK does. If I win, I want a discount on the next land I buy. There you go. TK, I got this very skewed into my favor. So that's a discount on land. Yeah, okay, we could do that. But the couple $100 that it cost me, and the time is the major thing that cost me to do the mailers, like 500 unit mailers that I'm giving away on these things. I mean, I guess I could convert into a couple $100 discount and some land if you really wanted, but I think you'd be a lot better off going for a ride on these mailers and letting it go full stream, see what kind of money you get out of it. You might not get anything. There's a total risk to it. You might not get anything, might not get any deals, or get some deals that don't pan out, or something's wrong with them. There's no access or something crazy about the land. And don't end up buying it, or the title is usually the problem. But I mean, some of these guys, like looking at the numbers last week, after the financing cost, after buying the land, after everything, I mean, even after my cut of half the profits on it, they might get like 50 grand, 5-0 with 3 more zeros after that first zero. That's 5 with 4 zeros, 50 grand. That's like, I'm gonna have to like 1099 these people and stuff. I mean, it's that kind of money. That could buy some pretty sweet freaking land, 50 grand. That's just be your part of the profits on the deal. I shouldn't be giving these things away, but if I give them away, I'm doing half of it with you, and it's that's the motivation. That's like, that makes it economic. That's I know they're economic if I do enough of them over time. I'm making money off of giving money away, and that makes a lot more sense to me than giving away some of the cheap properties I was giving away in the past, and hoping to resell them, or partner with you to resell them someday. I mean, the cheap properties, a lot of the people that gave properties away to ended up buying other properties, which is cool. They get the trust out of getting a free property from me, and then they go buy some other properties. I mean, that's great, and I'm not banging on it, but I think these mailers have a lot more octane to them, and if you really don't want the mailers, that's fine, but I think the mailers would be a heck of a lot better than a small discount on some land. I mean, that might be enough to build a tiny home and stuff with the profits you get off of them. And you could win week after week after week. I'm not limited to like, you got to be a new person anymore because it's too hard to keep track of. So if you win, you win. I've had a couple guys that won a couple times. I think just log in and go for it. Here's banjos up in the mountains. There we go. How often do you talk live to potential sellers, and if you talk to them, why? how do I mean, I answer as many calls as I can when I can, but I've got kids running around most of the time, like you guys have probably heard in the background of multiple of my videos and stuff. Um, but I talk to them. I talk to them when they call in, and they, I try to land the deal, land the plane, make it happen. And sometimes it's, hey, I got, yeah, I accept your offer, but I got 50 others too. And it's like, oh, cow, let's figure this one out. I don't have the money for that, or they all look the same, or it's a really specific deal or whatever. And I got to get creative and get on the phone with them, try to figure out what it is they want, what it is they need, try to find a solution that works for everybody. And I don't know anybody to better do that than myself. Maybe over time I could find somebody, but for right now it's me. Logan Jordan, hi Luke and everyone. I wanted to thanks Nick Siegler for letting me know about this great training opportunity as well as mailers to purchase. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Jordan. Yeah, the link's open. Just a couple people could hit that link. They might have already done it. I'm not watching the checkouts. If someone's checked out or not. You guys talking to each other on there. TK does. I found some land. I don't know how far it is from mine's, but I would like to do payment on it unless you have something closer to mine. Yeah, I mean, depending on who owns the land and the land, I can probably do some payment terms on it. It's if you call the number on the website, you'll probably get Cheryl or Gillian or one of the girls on there. There's a guy on there too. Can't just keep saying girls. They answer the phone, so one of the crew, and just ask me to do payments in that specific property. They'll figure it out. Guys talking to each other about photos. Thank you, Luke, for what you're doing. Okay, let's get back to these mailers. A lot of thank yous. And hi, Luke, I've bought 2 mailers and one once. I'd be happy to help you with researching and due diligence on any of those properties if you'd like. Nice. So as your mailers happen, the way I've got it set up right now is I've got a Google spreadsheet system, and I get you shared on the spreadsheet, and you start seeing, you see all the mailers that went out and the prices and the data and everything, and then another spreadsheet with them as they're coming in, and we spreadsheet the deals as they're coming in, and all kinds of notes and documents and data on them. So I'm doing the same idea of what I'd like to do in my new software system. I'm doing it in Google Docs, and to share that with you, and you can research them, and you can do all kinds of information on those deals too. Feel free to share. Lots of these I'm calling the people that are on the mailer with me, and I'm sharing notes and stuff. Okay, now it says I just checked the link and it said checkout disabled. Guess they're all gone. Bummer. Yeah, so they might be all sold out now. So I set it up just before the live call. And a bunch of people have been asking for it, so I'm not surprised if they're sold out, because I can't keep up with all of them. So I just open it up for a little bit, and I'll open it up for some more next week. So if you want to go for mailers, just try again next week, 9 a.m. call. I might, if I got my software set up, I might open it up to more, especially if I get through all the mailers this week, then I'll probably open it up for even more. Okay, so we're working on El Dorado County, and earlier on in this call, we went through and we looked at the map, and we looked at a whole bunch of APN schemes of properties close to Lake Tahoe in El Dorado County, California that make sense. And this chair's driving me crazy. Hold on. I got my handy dandy brake cleaner, because I should be using WD-40, but this is what I could find. See if this takes a squeak away. It doesn't last for very long. But there we go. Squeak's gone. Might last through the call. Okay, that stuff stinks. That's the wrong tool for the job, but it works. So we're El Dorado County. I'm going to go to assessor parcel number, and I'm going to start adding numbers in here. And I'm going to see if I can do 014. I can't do a dash, because that would look like another one. I'm going to have to enter each one of these numbers. So I should turn some like music on or something. Okay, guys. See how fast I can enter these. Oops, should have hit add and enter more. So this software, I'll try to tell you a little bit about this software along the way. It's they've been updating it a bit, and I get this software from Land Academy. Land Academy, I keep talking about Land Academy because they helped me learn this. And I've taken their tools and their information and run with it, made it, I think, a little bit better. But the basics, they teach you the basics. They give you the toolbox to go tackle land. And what you do with it is totally up to you. One of the things I'm thinking about doing with it is I just got evicted from our place. If evicted's the right word. They give us a 60-day notice to get out, to vacate. And so I own a house, but this one's by the beach, and my rent was $2,300, and the neighbor rents out half of his house for like $5,500. We probably got a better view and a better setup, like the rent is totally under market. So I got a really good deal on the rent, and they've never changed it. And the windows were like boarded up, and there's a marijuana grow room in the garage, and the guy was growing pot in the backyard and stuff. So I cleaned all that out. And when the dispensaries in California started, he couldn't use that to pay rent anymore. The price dropped and put him out of business. I gave him cash to get out of here, and we got a deal on the house, but it looked like it was a pigsty. And but it was a really sweet location. And I went to work on it, fixed it up, put new windows in, put new, resurfaced all kinds of stuff, new floors, and just made it habitable. But just a renter, a month-to-month renter. And owners live back in like Ohio. They inherited it, no mortgage. They just use the rent to live on. I looked up their house and all this real estate data, and the Zillow numbers when I first looked were like $30,000. Later on, it moved up to like $50,000. And so the lady died. She passed on, and niece got the property, and her son put it up for sale by owner. In 48 hours, they got like 400 people that wanted to buy the property. 400 people in 48 hours. The top bidder is a neighbor of mine. He offered $2.2 million, and he got it. And then after they agreed to the $2.2 million, so the bidding war going on, the other people started bidding more. They said significantly more. It's a crazy market, right? The market's crazy hot here by the coast. And so people took off with it. And I did a deal with a guy. I can stay here a little bit longer. Just got to pay him a little bit. And we're looking for a new place. So what I thought I would do is, I think the prices in this area are crazy, but my wife loves the area. And the kids are in the school and everything. I would like to mail letters to all the neighbors in the area that I like, that we want to live, and say I would like to rent your house, and try to come up with another one of these crazy cheap rental deals, because I think the rent is cheaper than paying the taxes on buying one of these things. That's how insane the market is around here. There's a bunch of these old houses that people have that they haven't traded in forever, and the taxes are way low from a long time ago. It's like, why would I buy the house and bump up the taxes and have interest and all that stuff if I could get a really good rental deal? So I thought I would, I can own other assets. I don't have to own the house I live in. I've got houses, but they're just, investments, right? Okay, so I got all the numbers in there, but I thought I would do this kind of data scrub and mail letters for a place to rent and try to find a good deal. And I thought I would mail letters to the people that are living in the house when the mailing address is somewhere else, and offer the renter that's in there cash to get out of there and give me their deal. And I thought I would offer the people that own the house to rent their house, or cash to kick out the person that's there to rent the house to me. Hit them from a couple different ways, and just find a really good deal. Your session is expired. Please log in again. Oh no. Don't tell me I gotta like type all those in again. So when you have the contact information for the owners and you can scrub down to the neighborhoods and stuff, I mean, I'd probably go for 3-bedroom houses because I'd like 3 bedrooms and big lot, and go for lot size and all the stuff that I want. Just do it through data and see what comes up. And I don't have to, I don't have to take them all. Damn it. It didn't save because I left this open too long. So I'm going to have to type it again. So this software could be used for that. It could be used for buying vacant land. It could be used for buying houses. It could be used for office complexes. It could be used for all kinds of real assets that the county has information on. And it's not usually this clunky, but the style that I'm searching here is kind of unique, so it's not like the normal search, but it gives you a lot of tools that you can use to hone in on areas like this. There's also Data Tree, which is another competitor to these guys. A lot of people like that, especially if you're doing houses. It's a lot more house information. It's a lot easier to figure out, I want to only mail offers on houses that have no debt or something like that. I'm going to ask somebody for a deal. I want owner financing. I don't want to, oh no, I hit the wrong button because I'm talking. Let's go back and see if it works. Come on. Repopulate. Oh, yeah, good. Okay. So I got 18, 19. There's a lot of things you could do with this data. And my confidence level has been going up. The more I make these systematic offers to a population of assets like this, the more I want to do different kinds of assets too. So I recently put my boat up for sale. It's just getting old, and I'd like a newer one, better one, fancier. And boats are crazy expensive to maintain and to keep, especially if you have it in a marina. It's just, you're insane. There's something got to be wrong with you to keep a boat in a marina. For the amount of use you do and stuff, like the fees are stupid. So, but I would still love to do it. I just don't want to pay for it, right? So I thought I would go down to the fancy marina down here after I sell my boat and start making cash offers. I go through the marina, and I'm sure there's some boats in there that people don't like to keep paying the slip fee, and they'd love to get rid of them, or maybe their wife doesn't even know about them or something. They just gotta they just gotta get it off the books, so they gotta get rid of it. And they don't have the time, they don't have the energy to go market it, figure it out, and they get a cash offer from me. Like, oh heck yeah, I could probably get one sweet boat deal. So I'd like to do the same idea on boats, but I don't know how to get the data on who owns the boats. Like, you can get bigger boats, bigger than I really want, by getting Coast Guard data. I don't want to do that size boat. So I think I'd just go through the marina, walk around, and post cash offers on the boat. Look at them, do a little bit of research, and offer as much money as I have or much money as I'm willing to pay for the boat and the slip. And get it for such a good deal that it totally just prices in the slip for a good long time. So it's not, I don't feel like I'm paying for the slip, I'd still be paying for it, but it wouldn't feel like I'm getting so ripped off. And I could take my kids out in the boat without trailering the boat that I have. It's hard to trailer it with the kids. And I think this same application could be used for that. Systematically making offers across the whole asset class and looking at the statistics of who comes back and says, yes, somebody in there needs money. Somebody in there has a life change. They don't want that boat anymore. They don't want that vacant land anymore. They don't want that house anymore for whatever reason it is. Like, I got a house in Detroit right now that if somebody made me a good cash offer on, I'd probably take it. I'm living in Southern California. Nobody sends me offers on that house. What's wrong with them? People should be sending offers, even if the offers are stupid. Like 1/10 of what the house is worth. Somebody's probably still going to take it. It's Detroit. You know, I should be making those offers. Buy some more of those Detroit ones. They're easier to sell in portfolios than they are one by one. But right now we're doing Lake Tahoe. And this time I'm going to save this search. Tahoe 1. So we got all the APN in there. So these are the books. If you remember from earlier on, we're just doing the books by the lake. And so there we go. I'm going to submit the request, and we're going to get a list of all the land. I'm going to see how many properties are over here in these books. And these are going to be houses. These are going to be vacants. It's going to be government land. It's going to be all the screwy stuff that we still got to scrub out. But I'm just going to get a number for reference, and then we're going to scrub from there. I thought I could write this number down, and it keeps ticking away. I don't know if you can see it up there. Yeah, my hand disappears. Probably a pretty boring screen. Yeah, right over here. That went away. You don't need to see this screen. It's just like too small to see anyway. 25,000 records. Okay, so this software maxes out at 25. Or my settings max it out at 25,000. So there's over 25,000. Okay, so let's go back. Let's do, I want to put, I want to get vacant. So what I'm going to look in here is improved. I'm going to look at for improved percent. Improved percent, I'm going to do from nothing to 1. And the past I would put a 0 in there, but I'm not doing that anymore. I don't know if you can see these boxes up here. I'm not doing 0 anymore because they changed their system. So a lot of columns don't have any data. So if they don't have any data for improved percent, because it's a calculation, they pull information from a couple different sources. I want those because they're probably vacant. And if they're not, it doesn't cost that much to send them an offer anyway. Okay, so 0 to 1%. I mean, sometimes I even do 10%, but I'm going to do 0 to 1. Just get the truly vacant ones. And let's save this as Tahoe 2. And I'm building up. I'm going to add a rule on here. I'm going to check the count, make sure I didn't break my search, I'm doing something wrong before I add the next rule on there. So the numbers are ticking away. I don't know if you can see them on the screen. It's going kind of fast. 9,047 records. That is a lot more than I thought there would be. Okay, so let's go back. Let's make sure we got that search with the improved percent and all the numbers in there, and let's add something else on because that's way too many records. Okay, so we got the improved percent and all the APNs. I'm gonna do taxes. Oh, let's do property tax. Property tax. There's property tax. And so a lot of those records in there are like the U.S. government, Department of Agriculture, or BLM. They're, the school fund, the people that don't pay taxes, right? So I want to get rid of the ones that don't pay taxes. And there's also properties. It would be sweet to own a property where the tax is like $1 a year. But every time I look those properties up, they're like the armpit. It's the property you don't want. You just do not want those properties. If you really want to buy properties for like no money, go look at the ones that got taxes from like 5 cents to $5 and mail them cash offers. Like all those people are going to take your money, but you don't want those properties. So I don't even want them in my mailer anymore. So, it's going to be like 12-foot strip of stupidity that doesn't go from anywhere to anywhere. And it's just like a mistake in the records, but they still charge tax on it. Those kinds of properties. The stuff that shows up in the tax auctions, it's like, what the heck? Why? So let's see what happens if we go from 100. I'm not going to go to something. Let's cut the bottom off. So let's cut the bottom off. Let's save this search as Tahoe 3. Let's see what happens if we cut the bottom off. I'm going to cut the top off too, but I want to just do one at a time so I can see what happens to the numbers. 5, 7, 8, 8,000. We got rid of like 1,000. I should make it higher because that United States of America Lake Tahoe Basin Management Unit. Those guys pay over $100 a year in taxes. Why? United States of America, State of California, Bureau of Land Management. We still got a bunch of junky records in here. It doesn't make sense. They should be at zero taxes. Let's try that again. Let's make it like $200. So I want to get rid of the bottom 20% of the properties. It's Pareto principle, this sucker. Let's get rid of the bottom 20%. Come on, property tax. Property tax, there it is. Let's do 200. Add to criteria list. Tahoe 4. And I save this because lots of times you can't get back and start over and you gotta reload it. I don't want to create the whole thing again. Oh, I see stuff in the comments going by about boats. Let's see what that says. Submit the request. Okay. Old property 13 props in California. Yeah. I would like information on the New Mexico 164 acres. New Mexico 164 acres. I don't think that's one of my properties. I think you're gonna have to ask whoever's selling that one on the website. Who's got it up for sale. I don't know that one. What's the name of the site that you're in? RealQuest Pro is the site that I'm in right now. The ones with maps on it before was called Title Pro 24/7. And you can get these through Land Academy. If you get a membership at Land Academy, you get all these databases included in it. And I think that's cheaper than going to buy them one by one or getting access to them. Cindy Lee, yeah, taxes on $2 million would be about $20,000 per year. I know, right? I mean, tax and interest on one of these houses. I mean, the guy paid $2.2 million. I saw his financing. He's got 8% financing. He pays 2 points in the beginning and 8% financing. $2.2 million house. He's paying 8 points. What is that? That's like, $176,000 a year in interest. That's $14,666 a month in interest. The guy that's buying the house. Well, if it's, I don't think it's 100%. It was a commercial loan, so it might be 100%. He put down 2%. Then he's cranking out interest. I mean, it's close to 15 grand a month in interest. It doesn't make any sense. The renting makes a lot more sense than paying that crazy finance. Frankie Robinson, awesome loot confidence. Oh yeah. Yes, they are boats. Exactly. The business helps me become more creative too. Yep. I've heard of people living in their boats in San Diego and basically just paying the cheap docking fee. Cheap Southern California living, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, that's one way to do it. I don't want to go live there. I mean, but I love fishing. I mean, I took out a neighbor kid yesterday and he caught a lingcod, big beautiful lingcod, blue meat. We ate lingcod for dinner last night. I caught a vermilion rockfish. I was trying to get my son to hold the rod and stuff to reel this guy in, but that thing tasted awesome too. I love fishing. It's healthy food. It's fun. It's good entertainment. Get the kids out in the water. It's just something I've always been into. Some people like it, some don't. Cindy Lee, boats have a 12-digit hull identification number. Since states require the hull identification number to appear on registration certificates, you can find the boat's owner by purchasing a boat history report online and paying with a credit card. So where do I get the boat owner info? I thought that's through the DMV, and when I was trying to do that, you had to have like a reason to get their information. It didn't seem like I could just buy databases so easily. I was trying. I mean, Cindy Lee, if you know where I can buy sets of boat owners information and what like boats they have, that would be awesome. I'd love to know. I'll buy some of that data. I'll go mail them offers. John or Luke, John says, Luke, do you keep track of a do not mail list? If so, how do you scrub to send them the same county? There's a good question. Yeah. I I mean, yeah, my face is turning red, so turn it on the camera here. I mean, usually I don't send mail to the same county, but over time I've started sending mail to the same counties because there's not that many counties. There's only 3,000 counties or something, and you start banging into them again. Um, and yeah, so I don't really, and there's no laws about it. Um, and I'm not sending them the same offer. I'm sending them a different offer. Lots of times it's a different name of somebody else that's answering the phone, and you know, yeah, I get tons of mail. I couldn't imagine trying to chase any of those people and say, stop sending me this mail, stop sending me this mail, stop sending me this mail. You know, I get these people that still drop off phone books. You know how many times I've tried to tell them stop dropping off stupid phone book? Like, who uses a phone book anymore? I mean, it's like a, what, for the fireplace? I mean, I couldn't imagine taking the time to go find something in the phone book. We got phones, you know, you whip them out and you do a search. Or a computer, it's way faster. They can still get phone books. I've called, I've tried. They can still give me phone books. Like, it's hard to get people to stop sending you stuff. Now, when it comes to phones and trying to get people to stop calling you, there's laws about it. It's a different story. But mail, yeah. Sorry I'm late today, Luke. You might have answered this. Did you find out if mailing Montana is okay? Blake Jones asking about mailing Montana. So I talked to the RealQuest people, this software here in the background. I called these clowns and said, hey, why can't I get the data for Montana? I downloaded some data and it doesn't have the mailing address. I said, well, it's because you can't solicit in Montana. So I said, well, look at the law. Look at the law. And I had it printed out here. I was going to quote the number, but I think I threw it away. But if you try to download the data, they quote the law. And if you look up the law, it says if you're preparing the list, it's okay. For my interpretation, I'm not a lawyer. If a state agency is preparing the list, it's not okay. But if you're preparing the list to mail people off of public information, it's okay. My interpretation of that law is it's okay to mail people in Montana if you can mail it off the public information. Like, don't buy a list from the state or from the county. I mean, or from some government agency. Like, don't approach the DMV and buy a list. Don't go buy a list from the assessor. But if you are compiling a list off of publicly sourced data, it looks like it's okay in Montana. From my opinion, just me, little old Luke, not an attorney opinion. Okay, so now back to this mailer working out in the background. This says 1,674 records. It doesn't make any sense. So it went from $100 to $200, and it cut off like crazy amount of properties. Let's go back and try that again. It got rid of all the government stuff at $200 taxes a year. My chair started squeaking again. The brake cleaner doesn't work for very long. Let's read some more questions. John, good point. I would keep an access table to do not mail and bang it up against the new one every time. Andrew W. Yes, you should do that. And then you have people that call and say, please do not ever mail me again. Click. Like, who are you? Like, I don't know. It's harder said than done. Most of the people that complain that they don't give me any contact information. They're like, I'm not giving you my information. It's, yeah. But if you can do that, great. Do it. Do it, guys. I think you should. Keep track of those people. Prado principle is good. Yeah, gospel. Yep. Prado principle. Yep. Marina fees were not cheap in San Diego when I lived there, at least Point Loma area. Yeah, I mean, like a 30-foot boat, I mean, you're talking like $700 a month kind of marina fees. Yeah, Cindy Lee. My son owns and operates 2 sport fishing boats in the LA area. I will find out for you. Yeah, so sport fishing boats, I mean, they're going to be registered with U.S. Coast Guard. And so the ones that are registered with the Coast Guard, you can get the data from the Coast Guard. I know other people that have done that. But I don't have that kind of money. I want the smaller ones, more family boat. Yeah, there goes the chair. So can you get the data in Montana? A little confused. Blake Jones. So I could not, from the little bit that I tried from RealQuest, CoreLogic, I could not get the data in Montana. I bet you if you tried like Agent Pro 24/7, let's just do it while we're talking. I'll pull up a Montana. Let's see if they give me some Montana. I got kicked out of there. It was Yellowstone County we were trying last week, right? If I remember right. Yellowstone County. Let's pull up Montana, Yellowstone County. And what do you think we should look up? Jones, Bob Jones, Robert Jones, John Smith. Montana, Yellowstone. Let's do Jones. Owner named Jones. There's got to be somebody here named Jones. Hopefully not too many. There's probably too many. Should have Williams or something. That's some, but not too many. Okay, it's spinning its wheels. Let's see. How many we got? 300. I'm not doing 300 records, but let's do... Is that half dozen records? Okay, let's select these. See if we get some mailing addresses. Yellowstone County. Owner name. Got the sizes of the properties, when they're built, their taxes. Did I skip over the mailing address? Property address. Mail address. Mail address right there. Column P. Get the mailing address. Mailing address, mail city, mail state, mail zip. Owner's name. So if you do it through Title Pro, Agent Pro, they don't care about that law that the other guys are freaking out about. So you go Mail Montana. You could do that. I mean, I'm sure there's other data sets you could use too. Okay, back to RealQuest. So there's one reason to have more than one database. We'll have to do that later today. 200 and greater. So let's change this 200 and greater to, let's try 150. Because 200 got rid of the governments, but it got rid of 8/9 of the properties too. 150, I want to get rid of 20%, not 80%. Oh, I didn't save it. $1,500. Okay, 2,000 records. It's a little bit better. Let's try $125. I want to get so we had 9,047 records times 0.8. I wanted to get to 7,200 records. And so if we mess around with this tax thing, let's try 120. There's a bunch of properties in there that have between $100 and $150 in taxes. Either that or when I did 100, I did something wrong. 23. Let's try the 100 again, $100 taxes, and see if I messed something up when I pulled that, because it came up with like 8,000 records when I did it at $100. Maybe I did like 10 instead of 100 or something. I'm trying to produce a show and do something smart at the same time. I'm not that talented. Okay, $100. Yeah, I did. So that's why I'm scratching my head. So when I did the $100 before and I got 8,000 records, I was doing something wrong. So $100 that gets rid of the governments and it gets rid of the weirdnesses, and it takes us down to 2,500 records. And I want more records than that because we got over 25,000 records in the area. If we get rid of the ones that are built on, we got down to 9,000. Out of the vacant ones, yeah, I want to get rid of a bunch of government. So maybe it does make sense that there's a ton of government stuff in here. And let's try $25. And that's why so many of them are going away when I put when I put a minimum tax on there, like make sure the property's taxed at least this much or else get it out of here. And get it out of here, like a whole lot of those records disappear. So maybe that makes sense. Just tons and tons of government. Yeah, take it down $25. We still got like almost 3,000. So I think I'm going to take it back up to 100. And that's going to get rid of a lot of the no access crazy mountains that I would like to own personally and go camping on and stuff, but they're not as much fun to go sell. People are trying to get there and they call 500 times for asking for directions. I don't want to be in that business. It's like, here's your GPS coordinates. If you can't figure out how to get there, that's not land you should be buying. You know? It's there's bears in those woods. Make sure you lock up your food. $2,500 records. Okay, so 2,500 records, $100. I'm gonna do some more scrubbing from there, and I'm gonna whittle this down. But we're getting past good long call here. I want to give away some mailers. And I got some stuff to do. I got some appointments to get to. So Cindy Lee's a creative one. She says, so if it's easy to use the hull numbers, have your kids go down to the dock and write them down, then do your search. It looks like $55 for 5 reports to get info. Huh. There you go. So if there's like specific boat that I want, and I could get the hull number off the boat, I go climb in the boat and figure out where it is. Yeah. I think it's going to be easier just put a stupid cash offer on the boat, just duct tape it onto the railing or something. And just 6 months later, when the person actually goes to the boat to check on it, they'll be calling me, and I probably bought a boat after week number 1. The best deals would probably be months later. Yeah, I think you just walk around, take a look at it, make sure it's still floating, and do a little Google, look up the brand and stuff. Like, oh, they sell for 100,000. I'll offer you 10,000 or some number like that, right? It's all the money I got. 10,000 cash, ready to go. No more boat, no more fees. Have fun with it. Sell it for 20,000. People think I'm crazy, but they don't know how much I paid for it. Okay. So I'm gonna work on this mailer later today. I gotta do I got to go to get a passport for my kid, stuff. And so I'm gonna cut this off. Let's give some mail away. Sounds like the mailers from today are all bought out. I'll do more of them next week, but I'll just recap what I'm giving away here so it's clear. If you don't want this, then don't play. It's free 500 mailers. I'm going to give away 500 mailers. I'm going to do the studying. I'm going to do the data scrub like we were doing on this mailer right here. In the background, I'm going to take it all the way through. I'm going to take all the information. I'm going to merge it together. I'm going to go through and I'm going to price it. I'm going to go like book and page style. You know how we studied that book and page on the map? I'm going to look at exactly that map, that neighborhood. I'm going to price that neighborhood. I'm going to price it something below what I think I could sell the property for, like maybe half of what I think I could sell the property for. I'm going to try to buy it for that. And then if the people accept it, I'm going to try to get them into title and do all the paperwork and get the property bought. And I use my money or use friends' money or someone else's money and pay for it. If I'm using someone else's money or my money, I'm gonna charge some kind of financing charge for that, or the person's money is going to charge some financing charge for that. And whatever I get to keep after that, I'm going to split that with you, half and half. And I'm going to pay for stuff like photos and paperwork and title and like all those fees and things. We're going to throw all that in there, and whatever I'd get to take home kinds of money. I'm going to cut it up, say half for you, half for me. Here's a check. And I'm probably going to send you a 1099 too, so I'm going to need your information to do that because it's going to be a chunk of money and I don't want to pay taxes on your money. So I need your contact information for the winner and eventually tax information as I actually pay you. I'll probably ask you for your tax information just before I send you the check, or checks if it's multiple ones. And that's it. That's how it rolls. I got a spreadsheet, keep track. You can see everything going through. And you can ask questions, see the property. You can look at the property. You go visit the property. You could buy the property if you really want to. I might get frustrated because I want my half on there somewhere on the profit side. But if you really want to take off with the property, I'm sure we'll figure something out. And that's it. I'm going to go process a bunch of these. I'm doing mailers all week long. And I'm going to try to catch up and run out of any more mailer orders by the next live call Monday morning, and then we'll start over, do some more, and we'll keep you updated as the deals come through. So that's what you're doing. So I'm going to ask a basic question, and whoever answers this question, let's do the 7th one because I like sevens. Sevens are fun. 7 sells stuff. 7s and 9s sell a lot better than all the rest of the numbers. The last digit on the price, right? I think the studies say 3 times more. 7s and 9s sell 3 times as much the same stuff as something with an 8 on the end, or a 6 or a 2 or a 0. So I'm doing 7. The 7th person to answer my question, I'll give you 500 mailers. And let me pull up the chat, and I got to think of a question here. Let's blow this bad boy up. And then let me figure. Oh, okay, cool. It's on the screen. Okay, so earlier on in the call, we were talking about Lake Tahoe, and we were talking about scores and points and a bunch of bureaucratic mess stuff and how I got deals, but didn't make sense in one of these counties, and the other in Placer County, it didn't make sense. But the county just to the south of that, the one we're working on this mailer. What's the name of that county? It's a Spanish kind of name. It's got 2 words. It's a 2-word named county. It's in California. It's just south of Placer, and it's on Lake Tahoe. You could probably figure it out if you know your geography, if you've been listening to the show. You should really know the name of that county. So the 7th person to put that county into the chat, I'm going to give you 500 mailers. And so I got the chat pulled up behind me. And I wasn't down to the bottom. I was like, why isn't it moving? Okay, so Dave Tassiet says, love the 7. Yeah, 7. Exactly. Okay. Jeffrey Day, El Dorado. That's the right county. Number 1. Jarrett Curley, El Dorado. Number 2. Jason Macy. He's won a couple times. Number 3. ADDG. I haven't seen him in here before. Number 4. Andrew W. Number 5. Cindy Lee. Number 6. Reading Music. Redenhouse Music, El Dorado, number 7. So Redenhouse Music, I think we got a new winner. I haven't seen this name in here before either. So Redenhouse. How am I not figuring that out? You guys could probably figure it out before I do. I'm always just slow on it, like figuring out what license plates mean and stuff. Same with usernames. So Redenhouse Music. I'm gonna give you 500 mailers. What you have to do is you have to send an email to my assistant Gillian. Gillian at ruralvacantland.com. And so I'm putting the email in here so you can cut and paste it, get her name spelled right and stuff. And so copy that Gillian at ruralvacantland.com and email her and say, I'm Redenhouse, whatever your username is here. And Redenhouse Music. And she's probably watching anyway. She will set you up and get you into spreadsheets, and as the mailers happen and go, we'll be updating you. So we want your contact information to be able to contact you and keep you up to date with the mailers and be able to pay you later on as the deals actually come through, if they come through. And the timing on this is going to take some time. I'm not super fast. It's going to be, hopefully, maybe I might even get the mail out this week, but it'll probably be over the next month or so I'll get the mail out. And then it'll take some time for the people to actually read the mail and call us back. And then it'll take me some time to research the property, make sure I really want to buy it. It'll take me a little bit of time to find somebody to pay for it if I'm not paying for it myself. And it'll take some time to close it through title, and it'll take some more time to sell it. And it'll take some more time to close it through title again before we get money out of it. So the time on that is whatever. It might be 6 months before you actually get any money. It might be never that you don't get any money. It might be a couple months, and sometimes they happen faster. So you just got to be patient with me. That's part of the business. And we'll go plant the seeds and wait to see what we can harvest later. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for chiming in. Thanks for the great questions today, guys. Lots of good questions. And I'm going to see you again Monday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time next week. And we're going to do it again. Maybe we'll mail something else. We'll buy something. We'll do some land deals, right? We're going to do the happy dance when people call back and say, I want to sell you my land. Because that's cool. Congrats, Redenhouse Music. Yeah. So thanks. Lots of thanks. And I think I might just throw this chair in the trash right after this call and get a new one. It's really pissing me off. Talk to you guys later. Bye.